But first, Francis goes to Kent to visit a fine collection of salvias.
It's late summer here. The morning sun's rays are lower in the sky, and it's the salvias that are shining the brightest, rapidly becoming the show-stopping rising stars which warm up our borders and standing proud, radiating their vast range of colours. With nearly 1,000 species of shrubs, herbaceous perennials and annuals, mostly originating from Central and South America, Central Asia and the Mediterranean. Salvias have become a mainstay of British gardens. They put on a dazzling display from midsummer right the way through until the first frosts. So really, it's no wonder us gardeners are so attracted to them. These magnificent flowers are also a magnet for bees, butterflies and other pollinators too. This is Great Comp Garden, home to one of the biggest and most important collections of salvia in Europe. So it seems a good place to come and unearth more about this beautiful and fascinating genus. Because salvias really come into their own in the middle of summer and onwards, they work incredibly well with other late summer flowers. So things like dahlias, rudbeckias and ornamental grasses look stunning with salvias. They're in the Lamiaceae or mint family, and there are a few key characteristics of that family, so things like square stems, and also decusate leaves, which is alternately opposite. So you have one opposite pair and then another opposite pair at 90-degree angle from that. And they have 5 petals all fused together. They're a really beautiful family, lots of aromatics, which salvias show as well. This beautiful salvia collection has been put together by William Dyson, one of the world's leading salvia experts. He also cultivates more than 200 hybrids and species in his own nursery just next door. How long have you been growing salvias and how did you get into it?
I've been growing them for nearly 30 years now, and I got into growing them because I was looking for something that would grow in full sun, very well-drained soil, and give lots of flower over a long period of time.
Absolutely.
And I just started collecting them and started getting hybridisation happening between the bees, and then I started my own breeding programme. But it's been the New World, so the Mexican southern states of the US, those species that have given me the most joy because they've got such a wide range of colour. And the insects love them as well, you know, they're great pollinator plants.
The bees are all over these, aren't they? I mean,
They
you
are.
would think they may not be able to access the nectar because they're very, very long flowers, aren't they?
Well, they're taking a shortcut, so rather than doing like the hummingbird would do in the natural environment, the hummingbird would go in through the front of the flower. Our bees in England, the honeybees and the bumblebees, they take a shortcut into the nectar and they drill a hole in the side of the flower. The thing that the bees find so attractive is a very, very rich nectar source. So this is why you see on a lot of these here, these have all got little drill marks in the side where they've been accessing to rob the nectar.
Ingenious little things, aren't
They are, yeah, yeah.
And is that just bees that will do that, or will other pollinators do the same thing?
I've only noticed honeybees and bumblebees doing that so far.
Are there any New World salvias that you like particularly?
I really like at the moment, I'm really into one called Salvia bululata and called Blue Jade, and the flowers are totally original in the sort of turquoise flowers. You don't often find that in the plant kingdom. And then so many of the microphylla types. The toughest of all is one called Ceropotaci, and flowers over a very long period, May to November, and the flowers are held well above the foliage. The foliage smells fantastic, and the bees love it.
This is rather stunning, isn't it?
This is beautiful. Very, very vibrant red flowers. A Salvia blepharophylla, painted lady, and really, really zingy red, but the dark purple calyx really emphasises the colour of the flower. And you grow this in full sun, you can see the edges of the leaves start to turn black as well. But
Oh, I
in a nice
see.
way, it sort of adds to the contrast, I think, between the red flowers and the foliage.
Almost a kind of variegation.
Quite an unusual aroma, isn't it?
Really unusual. I was just going to say that. It almost smells a bit like a pelargonium.
Indeed.
How unusual.
It's not completely hardy. You need to have a sheltered corner for it, really.
Okay.
But, you know, we managed to get it through 4 or 5 winters on the trot. But again, you need to have well-drained soil. If you can't do that, grow it in a pot, really. Just have a sniff at that one.
Oh, that smells really burny. I like it. It's like
Yeah,
a charcoal smell.
Yeah, yeah. That's the penny smile variety.
Oh, that's
Another
lovely.
shrubby Mexican. And what you're getting is intense volatile oils there. And that puts off rabbits and deer, so they won't graze on that. And I think that probably protects our trees from being grazed.
Wow, so your apples are actually being protected by the salvia.
Yeah, but you're encouraging all kinds of different beneficial insects as well. So I haven't seen any aphids on the apples at all this year. I think we've got to thank things like ladybird larvae, hoverfly larvae, and all kinds of things like that they're living within this area here, and they're protecting the trees at the same time.
It also just looks incredibly beautiful.
I think it does as well, yeah.
Growing salvias is fairly simple, especially if you have full sun and a free draining soil. If you have a very heavy clay soil, you're probably best growing them in a container. In terms of looking after them, they're fairly simple. Big, showy ones like Amistad are magnificent if they're fed. But some of them don't like to be fed, so shrubby Mexican salvias, like royal Bumble. If you feed that too much, you'll get lots of leaves, not so many flowers. I have to say I've always loved salvia. Mostly the useful ones, but seeing the amazing range of them that they have here, it's so inspiring. And I think I have a whole new respect for a plant that I'd maybe taken for granted before.